welcome back to the Tim Cope Show. Today we have a very special guest. His name is Bryan, and here he is.
Yeah, hello Tim.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, likewise.
Nice to have you here.
Yeah.
So, we all know Bryan is studying at IBMS at Fontis this year. And what did you do before that?
Well, prior to IBMS I did an MBO study that was in the summer college in marketing communication. That was quite fun. It was 3 year study in Dutch. That's quite different, but the marketing aspects are there. And prior to that I worked 2 years full time at a steel company, and prior to that I worked at I studied at a digital art school. But after that all I still chose to go to the university. It was more appealing to me.
Oh, interesting. And did those studies go easily for you?
Well, the digital art's not quite, it was fun, but it wasn't like, there's a thin line between doing something fun and doing something for work, for example.
Okay.
That was one of the main difficulties I struggled with, but with the marketing communication it went quite easy actually.
Okay, I see. And now when having started to study at Fontis for IBMS, what do you want to achieve with this study?
Hopefully, at starters first a nice diploma and nice references, and then of course a well-paid job later. Preferably one where I do like where I'm half of the week in international environment, for example going abroad, going to China for businesses, and then 2 days in the office, just in Holland.
Okay. And your study attitude before Fontis compared to the first year at Fontis, what would you say about that for yourself? How did that go?
It was quite big difference. For example, with the marketing communication education, for the hardest exams I could just study 2 days ahead and then still achieve an 8. But here, things changed quite quickly. I had to change my motivation, my agenda. I had to work a lot less and put more time in my study. Instead of studying 2 days ahead, it's now a month ahead. And for main things that changed with me personally is actually just motivation and discipline. It was, it's kind of a slagger if you study 2 days ahead and even if you achieve good grades, but it won't work here.
Okay, so this is more on a level that would be considered difficult for you, or at least more difficult than previous years.
It's more challenging, yeah.
More challenging. Okay, definitely. But that's good, right?
Yeah, it's as you say difficult, but it challenges me also to achieve the same grades as I did at marketing communication level, and also I achieved nice grades, 8s, 9s, for example, and then when I got here it was first 8 and then it dropped again a little to 6s, and I was like, shit, I have to work more for it.
Okay, and because of these challenges, did you obtain any new set of skills or?
Yes, I was always very bad at planning. Well, planning is something, it's quite subjective actually, because for yourself you can make a good planning, but it won't work for everybody. So that's one of the skills I achieved, and working in project teams and multicultural teams, for example. That was also quite new here at IBMS, and it's overall communication actually.
I understand. It's nice. It's good to know.
Yeah.
And what about you personally? Like characteristics that could have changed because of this experience you've had?
I learned to deal with stress. That was one of the key factors. As you would look at my dysfunctional role, it's an aggressor, so when things go wrong I get quite aggressive, not like I'm going to punch anybody in the face, but I get agitated quite quickly, and due to the stress with deadlines and projects here, I learned to deal with big amounts of stress. So it has made me, let's say, a calmer person.
A better person, maybe.
Yeah, perhaps.
You stated before that you worked in groups, in teams,
Yeah.
for certain projects. Did that have any? Uh, how would you say? Did that have any pros and cons for you, or did that have? Did you have a good experience with that or a bad experience?
You mean this education?
This education.
It was quite fun actually also to see the different cultures, the real hierarchical groups, because in my previous education it was just a group was formed and just do this. And here it is, what kind of persons are you working with, how do these persons function, what is their style of studying and working in teams, what kind of culture or background do they have. It was really interesting here, but yeah, the difficult part was working with those different cultures because, for example, the Asian cultures, we really have to pull input from them. We as Dutch culture are quite assertive and like to think of possibilities how to work with ideas, but for our cultures it's not that obvious.
I see. So that's more a challenge that you had this period.
Yeah.
I guess. Okay, I see. And for next year, what are your expectations for next year?
More workload.
More workload.
Yeah, definitely. On a deeper level.
I see. So it's gonna be more harder work, I guess.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course, I think it
More
will
challenging.
grow exponentially the workload, but what I expect is that, yeah, of course, workload will be more, but I think the guidance will also be a bit better because now we're only first year students, and a lot of us will drop out. So I think we are like a big flock that needs to shrink a little bit.
And you think you can handle this workload for next year?
I think so. I handled so far, so I think next year I will adapt.
You will be fine.
Yeah, I think so.
Could you state me one smart objective for upcoming years, maybe, to specify a bit more?
I think, and overall I would state something like go more discipline in regards to studying on time and doing my stuff as teachers would ask for me. I often still have the tendency to start a bit late, but that's something that has to change really in the next upcoming years.
Okay.
Because if the workload increases, of course, you have to start even earlier.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah.
I think you informed us very well.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for this.
You're welcome.
And this was the Tim Cope Show.